Hello, my name is Yetunde Durodola. I graduated from St. Louis in 1989. 30 years later, I'm still Yetunde Durodola because I figured, why spoil a good thing? Bits and pieces of myself. Well, I am a mom of two beautiful daughters. I'm married. I live in the United States. By profession, I'm a food scientist, and I love what I do. Transition from primary school to St. Louis in 3 words. It was definitely smooth and satisfying, but above all, it was awe-inspiring. I just walked through those doors, walked through those gates, saw the buildings, saw the students, the Nigerian flag flying in the wind, and I just knew that I was meant to be there. I know it's a cliche, but it's just a feeling that you know you're meant to be there. Was I a day or boarding student? Well, I think I'm one of the very few that could say that I was both. I was a day student from class 1 through 4, first term, and then I transitioned to the boarding house, second and third term of Form 4, and the whole of Form 5. So I had the best of both worlds, so to speak. Ibadan. Well, one of my fondest memories, and I have to tell you that I have a lot of memories, very fond memories. But one of my fondest was when I did the starring role in The Marriage of Anansewa. I was Ananse in that play, and we had it over 3 days. We had it for the students of St. Louis, and for 2 days, I believe, we had it with all the students coming from outside. And I think I rocked it. I mean, I did the character from the beginning to the end of the play. I didn't have a stand-in, and it was just one of those moments where you just feel accomplished. And so, yeah, that is one of my fun moments. I have 2. The very first one is that morning assembly. Every day for 5 days a week for 5 years, we would congregate in a portion of the school, I think it's in the courtyard of the school, for morning assembly, where people we pray, we sing, and we listen to announcements or discipline. Anything goes there. It's like CNN on steroids sometimes. On Fridays, the press group will give us news, and there is comedy. Anything goes there. Awards are given there. Reprimands are made there. You have to be a part of it to start your day right. The people who don't make it to the morning assembly, I believe at 7:45, get to serve 1 or 2 punishment, maybe pick leaves or pick around the school. It's just not a good thing not to be able to. Until today, I always like to start my day right. I just always have to have that moment where I can gather my thoughts before I start my day. I think it stems from just having those morning assembly moments growing up. The second one is the Christmas Carol. I mean, who doesn't like it? It's the race to be part of the choir. If you are not part of the choir, you want to be part of the nativity scene. If you are not part of the nativity scene, at the very least, you want to be an usher. You get to put on your uniform on a Sunday, and people come from all over the city to listen to St. Louis sing. And I'll tell you this, if I ever find myself in Nigeria around Christmas time, I know I'm going to be hustling to know when or if they're going to have a Christmas Carol so I can be a part of it. Two teachers that impacted me the most. Are you serious? Wow. We had 5 great years, and so many teachers poured into us. And not any one of them is insignificant. I can just do a flashback and remember them all. But I would say this is Fakwade. She taught me English, and she taught me well. She taught me how to just breathe through the English language. It wasn't just something that we had to learn or memorize. It was something we had to live. how to write, how to read, how to summarize, how to interpret, poetry. I mean, you name it, she taught us. Mrs. Farquhar, English language. And then for the math, funny story, I still hear my math teacher's voice in my head every single day. Every time I have to do a little math at work, 30 days later, I still hear Mrs. Adenaye's voice in my head. Mrs. Adenaye taught math. She taught math like it was the last thing on earth that you had to know. Not to get an A or a high C was not an option in her class. So yeah, Mrs. Adenaye that taught me math and Mrs. Fakwade that taught me English are the two teachers that I can recall off the top of my head for this answer. I had two assistant head girls, but I think it's by tradition because the head girls before me had two and the one after me had two. I don't know if they still have two till today, but yeah, my first one is Opeyemi Mala. She was the yin to my yang. She was tough as nails. Sometimes I have to calm her down, but she follows through on everything. She does not waver. So I like that. She helps to get things in perspective sometimes. And the other one is Banke Adetoye, excellent person in her own right, very athletic. And with those two, we were able to handle the leadership of the student body very well. A word for the Sisters of St. Louis. A word. Thank you. Those are two words, by the way. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart. We are all over the world. We are in Africa, Asia. We're in North America, South America, Europe. We're everywhere because of you guys. We hear you. We see you in everything we do. We wish our kids could experience what we've experienced. At least I wish my kids could have experienced what I've experienced. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Sing a song or a phrase from St. Louis. Okay, I want to sing a song. I just don't want to insult your ears. And then there are tons of phrases. I don't know if you could indulge me, and I'll just give one of each. The first song is a song that Mrs. Morakio, the late Mrs. Morakio, used to sing at the morning assembly, and she'll dance, and we would sing along and make funny faces. And it goes this way. You cannot hide it from God. You may cover your sins so that nobody knows. You cannot hide it from God. And then she'll make us point to somebody on our left or your right, and we'll keep going. You cannot hide it from God. You cannot hide it from God. And if we've said use for about maybe 2 or 3 times, then we'll continue. You may cover your sins so that nobody knows. You cannot hide it from God. And then a phrase that we used to say right before Mrs. Farquhar would make us grade our own paper. Mrs. Farquhar, every once in a while she'll make us grade our own papers, but before we do, she'll make us write on top of it.
A little thing is a little thing, but faithfulness in a little thing is a great thing.
We have to write it out, and we have to say it out loud. And, you can't cheat after that. A little thing is a little thing, but faithfulness in a little thing is a big thing. If you end up getting 0 in that test, you'll be sure that you're writing that 0 down on your own paper. Fortunately, nobody gets 0, but that particular phrase has stayed with me for this long. Name 3 friends that I've kept, that were friends in St. Louis and I've kept in contact with this past 30 years. Okay, that's easy. I'll tell you this. All my best friends today are still friends that I made in St. Louis, and I have moved around a lot and I have met a lot of people. But 1, there is Busayo Alao. 2, there is Sholo Shumadewa. And 3, there is Fumi Agbeni. Not in any particular order, by the way. I see them every time I go to Nigeria. I call them on the phone. We talk for hours. And if you want me to go on, I will. Because there are quite a lot of them. 30 years later, 30 years strong. Well, I think for about 3 years, I was in the marching. Well, it's not a marching band; it's a marching team, and we would represent the school in march past. It could be October 1st, which is Nigeria's Independence Day, or Children's Day, which is May 27th. And I think I did it for like maybe 2 or 3 consecutive years. But I'm very proud to say that I was one of the march past people that came second in the state. One of the years, I think it was in my Form 4. And Loyola came first, naturally. We came second. I can't remember who came third, but it was a good day that day. It was a great day. The other extracurricular activity that I partook in all through 5 years was the drama club. I was in junior drama from my Form 1 and 2, and I transitioned to senior drama from 3, 4, and 5. So I am the poster child for drama club. I can definitely call myself a drama queen without even feeling self-conscious about it. Okay. Being a head girl is not something that you practice for. You don't know beforehand. As a matter of fact, I didn't know until I was made one. Many people don't know until that day that you are being set aside you're in contention to be one of the head girls, let alone be one. But looking back now, hindsight and all, I think that my character strengths that gave me an edge when I was the head girl were the same character that I've been building from day one, Form 1. The coming to school on time, that punctuality trait, you have to have it to be the head girl, because you have to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be. Second trait was to be decisive. Of course, you don't start out being decisive as a 11, 12-year-old, but over the course of the 4 years, you have to make decisions about how to study, when to study, and how to make sure that you pass and have good grades. So you pick on those character traits as well, and they help, because as a head girl, you have to be able to make the decisions as to what needs to be done for the student body. And last but not the least, you have to have a spirit of empathy. You have to have walked in the shoes of the students to be able to lead them. Having empathy, being very decisive, and just being punctual were the 3 traits that I think gave me an edge. I was at St. Louis last year, December 2019, and I was just filled with nostalgia, because within those walls are still the spirit that made us great. It didn't leave. It's still there. The spirit that made us who we are today all over the world. So girls, I'm telling you, don't look at the circumstance of the country or the economy or in this world of social media where everything seems to have glamour and all that. You have it already. You have it by being who you are. Fearless girls who are going to end up being women who are highly placed in the society. You have what it means to be global, to move from what present circumstance you are into a new circumstance when you grow up. You have what it takes to be a good mom, to be a good wife if you choose to marry, to be a good professional of any field that you decide to. You are acquiring priceless memories just by being a student of St. Louis. Because I tell you what, it's 30 years later and it's still one of the best 5 years of my life.